This is the Chef Joe Friday cooking channel. I'm Joe Friday. Some people call me the burger guy. That's why we're making a patty melt. I've been cooking for 20 years, but I love burgers, everything about them. This one, the patty melt, is a grilled cheese sandwich with beef in the middle, caramelized onions, and it's oh so delicious. Let's get to it. All right, so first we gotta get this onion going. I'm gonna slice it nicely and thin for caramelization. This is gonna be an amazing process because the onions make the patty melt. So you just want a nice slice, just like that. This is one of the most important processes of a patty melt because you want a lot of onions. Actually, more onions than you think because they will, once they start cooking, they will shrivel up a bit. There you go, a bowl full of sliced onions and some painless tears. Okay, so I got my onions. I'm gonna put them in this nice hot pan. I got the heat on about medium. You wanna keep the heat medium. You don't want it too hot because you're gonna cook these nice, low, and slow. A little bit of lubrication, oil that is, and you get that sizzle. I got a pan full of onions, and this is gonna be just half a cup when I finish. They're gonna get nice and caramelized, cook them extremely slow. And you don't wanna add salt right away. You wanna add salt about halfway through. Salt's gonna draw out more of the moisture, and it's gonna allow it to caramelize even more. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to turn these over. Looks like the caramelization has begun. So you'll get a little bit of the brown ones on the bottom, and all you really wanna do is take the top ones and put them on the bottom, and then they'll continue the cycle over and over again. As you can see, the pan looks like there's less onions in there, and that's just because onions have a lot of moisture in there already, and you're just releasing that. And that sizzle is the liquid that's in the onions. It's just coming out, and it's creating this nice little caramelization on the bottom. It's getting pretty close there, and remember, when you're cooking onions like this, caramelizing them, you want to wait till you season them. And I'm there right now. I'm at the right time. I'm gonna keep mixing it up, and I'm gonna add my seasoning to it. It's that perfect time. It's gonna draw out a little bit more moisture when I add salt. That's gonna help them caramelize a little bit more. Remember, when it comes to seasoning, there's levels to this. All right, so I'm pretty close to where I want them to be. I want them to get a little bit more color. And it'll be ready. And so for me to achieve that color, I'm gonna go a little bit of my way and add some butter. That's what I'm talking about. Get that butter nice and melted up in there. So I'm gonna add some whiskey to deglaze the pan. So I'm gonna take it to the next level with Gentleman's Jack. This right here is gonna go to the bottom of the pan, lift up all the amazing seasoning. I'm gonna stir it and add it. There we go. All right, so I got the color that I want from these caramelized onions, and they're done. I turned the heat off a couple minutes ago. The residual heat's gonna keep cooking them, but now it's time to take them out the pan so you can get a closer look. We're very, very close to making this patty melt. A classic patty melt is made with rye bread. So I got the rye with the caraway seeds. Love it. We're gonna get into it. You want a nice thick cut because you want enough bread to cover all that juiciness, the onions, the cheese, and the meat. And here we go. That end piece though, we're gonna save that because American Thanksgiving's coming up and we can make some stuffing. But here we go, nice thick slice. See that slice right there? That's what you want, nice thick slice. So we'll get another one. I'm gonna make 2 today because you can't leave out the cameraman, and he wants one too. Okay, now it's time for the meat, my favorite part. Look, I see a lot of people add so many fillers to it. You know, onions, breadcrumbs, mustard, mayonnaise. I don't do that. I like my meat to be seasoned on the outside. So I got some nice ground beef. This is 80-20. You can go a little bit more fat too. But what does fat mean? Fat means flavor. So we got enough flavor in here. You know, this is about, let's see, about a 5-ounce patty. Gonna spread it. It's gonna be oh so delicious. So you hear that sizzle? That's an amazing sound. You got all the fat just caramelizing the outside of the patty. This is gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna add some salt just here on this level and some pepper. Remember, there's a level to this. Flavor everywhere you can add it. Okay, now we're gonna press the burger. I don't want it extremely flat. I just wanna press it down a little bit so it can get maximum coverage on the bread. A nice twist. Well, you wanna keep twisting this thing because you don't want it to get stuck. Look at that, comes right off. Okay, so I got this going. On the one side, it seems to be cooking really nice, getting some nice caramelization on it. Now I'm gonna flip it, and I don't wanna cook it too long because I kinda want these a bit medium. So I'm gonna let this cook for another 30 seconds. Okay, now we got everything cooked up. Now it's time to assemble, toast our bread, and then we get to eat. I'm excited, you should be too. You know, my mom used to make patty melts back in the day, and I absolutely loved them as a kid. So I got some nice cheese. I got this slice at the deli, my favorite deli down the street from here. This is a good thick Swiss. So you can use cheddar if you want to. You can use any cheese you want, but I'm gonna stick with the classic here. Then I wanna get my caramelized onions on top of that cheese. Got my meat right here. Get this nice and melted. We're about to eat. You know, you wanna pay attention to the toast on it so it doesn't get too dark. You know, with these pans, I find doesn't always cook evenly. So when you're cooking, it's a labor of love. Pay attention, watch your food, make sure you get the exact results that you want. All right, so right now I just wanna kinda complete the assemblization, that's a new word, of the patty melt. Look at that, look at that. Nice and crispy on the outside. I love that sound. And you can get a nice little squeeze too. I'll do this one too. Oh yeah, look at that color, the sound. You know, that could be a musical instrument. I like it. All right, so it's almost finished, a couple more minutes. I'm gonna slice it up, show you what it's all about, and then I get to eat. All right, here we go. Thank you for watching my channel. Follow, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and also eat good food. All right, well, you make this at home. Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe. Joe out.
We got that already.